Hi friends, welcome to the Blue Mungo Quilting Studio. I'm Kate and today I'm going to be working on the quilting of this antique churn dash quilt top. I purchased this quilt top about a year and a half ago and unfortunately it sat in a box ever since. That was until about 2 weeks ago. I was working on piecing some large leftover backing pieces into usable backings and realized that 3 of the fabrics I was working with would coordinate quite nicely with this top. After getting the backing pieced, I had so much momentum that I got the whole thing loaded onto the long arm, tested out a few designs on my plexiglass boards, decided on the one I liked best, and figured out the most efficient thread path. Each block will be quilted the same using just 3 motifs. In the straight sides of the churn dash, I'm using rounded piano keys. Then in the triangle pieces, I'm using a similar design that fills the space but also helps to turn the corner. Finally, the background of each block is filled with an orange peel design. I'm also taking the time to stitch in the ditch for one main reason. Because this quilt is entirely hand-pieced, I want to make sure that all the seams are locked into place and lower the risk of any of them popping open in the future. Also, I'm just a glutton for punishment. I am using a ruler for the stitch in the ditch part and to help me keep my piano keys relatively straight. I could probably find a ruler to use for the orange peel, but because most of these fabrics are so busy the quilting doesn't really show, I think it would just be a waste of time. But because these fabrics are busy and the quilting doesn't show too much, it's a great chance for me to practice my freehand skills, especially with this design. My guess is that the orange peel at the end of this quilt will look a lot better than what's at the beginning. And that's fine by me, because it means I will have improved my skills. I used to get so nervous about trying new quilting designs because I was pressuring myself to have it perfected from the very first stitch. But I've given up on that expectation. I think it's actually really cool when you can look back at a quilt and see how much your skill progressed since then, or even within the same quilt. Progress is the goal, not perfection. quite a while to get this one quilted, but I'm so thrilled with the results. I can definitely see that my freehand orange peel skills have improved as the quilting went on and on and on, and even my piano keys became more consistent. I'm not exactly sure when this quilt top was pieced. My best guess is somewhere between the 1960s and 70s, but I'm certainly not an antique quilt expert. If you have a guess, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Regardless of when it was pieced, I'm so glad that I could be a part of the process of getting this quilt finished. Now I just have to figure out what fabric I want to use for the binding. But that's a project for another day. Thanks for joining me on this quilting adventure, and I'll see you for the next one.